Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed Fight Night. We have ourselves yet another OP09 match. We have myself on the left-hand side, rocking out that purple and yellow pudding, as well as Cold Hands on the right. This is a fellow YouTuber. He also actually went top 16 at Nats in Orlando, so a very good BY player. And so we're gonna see if we can actually take this dub as pudding. So we'll see how it goes. We see the 1-cost Garp grabbing the 5-cost Rocket Luffy, and we're gonna go ahead and swing an easy 5k into life. We're gonna flip the top 2 of our life. We're gonna ramp 1 Don as rested, and then just pass the turn. Cold Hands taking his first life there, and with 4 active Don, we are gonna see a 5k swing. I am gonna go ahead and take this, and now we see the 4-cost Kuzan coming down, which is honestly an issue. That card is really good against obviously purple and yellow, so I kind of need to get rid of that card. Do I have a way? I don't think I do. We're gonna go ahead and tap 6 Don here for the 6-cost Katakuri. We're gonna flip that card face down, ramp 1 Don as active, and then I am gonna go ahead and swing a 5k into life. We're gonna flip the top 2 once again to to ramp yet another Don as rested. We do see the trigger of the event card. We have look at top 5 for a of course one of the brothers grabbing the Luffy and passing the turn. Now we're gonna see if Cold Hands, what he can do exactly, and honestly, in my personal opinion, I have been playing this deck quite a lot, and I think Pudding actually wins this matchup. I don't think it's like super one-sided by any means, but I do think Pudding does win it. We saw the 5-cost Sabo coming down, which is quite good. Giving protection for that Kuzan is quite strong, and fortunately for me, I'm at 3 life, which is really nice. With this deck, you want to try to slow roll toward the mid to late game. You want to take as little life as possible, unless you're looking to go down to 1 life. So 5k swing into life. He's gonna go ahead and take it here, and we are gonna see the 10-cost Big Mom coming down. Now the main reason why I actually swung, which I know people are kind of curious, why did you do that? Why do you want to put Luffy to 0? And that's mainly because I didn't want him to gain access to go Hiyori into 5-cost Luffy, and then going into a 9k leader with 1 life. I honestly really did not want that to happen, and then for the following turn he would be able to play Gecko, and then it would just, you know, be all bad. And I could have played it safe, but instead I just wanted to do that instead. I wanted to just make sure I got value off of that. So 5k swing with the Kuzan. We see the 1k counter coming out of hand. We're going to reduce the Katakuri, the 6-cost. So now sitting at a 2-cost Katakuri, I do have 4 life as well, thanks to that 10-cost Big Mom. Attaching 2 Don to our leader. Now if we have Rocket Luffy, that kind of gets rid of that character, but we're going to use leader effect. Rocket Luffy, put Sabo at the bottom. Rocket activates. We're going to go use the character effect as well as the leader effect. We're going to get rid of that character, playing out the 2-cost Sabo to play out the Sabo. We're going to draw 2 trash 2, and my man Cold Hands is going through some cycling. There's so many cards in his hand, a ton of different options, and it looks like he ends up going with the double blocker Sabo for this turn. Now he is a 9k leader, which is quite relevant. Obviously, Pudding is not going to get any swings in anytime soon, so this is a pretty big swing here. 12k into life, we end up taking it here, and so he just passes the turn. And now with 10 active Dawn, he doesn't have any life, which is rather unfortunate for me. I wish I would able to kind of get rid of something. At the same time, we have both Sabos up, so I want to get rid of the Kuzan because it's an issue, but we're gonna go ahead and swing into life there. We do see the block, and I wouldn't mind swinging 5k into this Kuzan. I literally don't have any other options. What I could also do is I can go 6-cost character and then attach 4 Don to Pudding, swing a 9k into the Kuzan or into life. But the main reason why I want to get rid of the Kuzan is because I don't have a 10-cost to play. I don't think I do. So actually, I do have a 10-cost to play, but I just wanted to do another option. I wanted to kind of get rid of a card out of his hand, or get rid of the Sabo, because if essentially by keeping the Sabo up and alive, he can now go into, if he has Gecko, he can go into kid character of the choice of a Luffy, either of the 2, and then whatever he wants. I mean, he already has a Sabo, so he can go double Sabo plus Luffy, and I really didn't want that to happen. So Regardless, it is what it is. I ended up playing the 10 cost Big Mom to regenerate a life, which is honestly still pretty good position for me. I have 4 life, 2 12Ks on the board is very, very strong and almost impossible for Cold Hands to deal with as a BY player with that even with the Kuzan on the board. He could go Ice Age plus Kuzan, to do all the works, but it just requires a lot. It also requires him not to play the Gecko Moria. So we are going to go ahead and do that and play out the Gecko. We're going to play out the 2 Sabos, so rather unfortunate here, and it looks like we're going to use a leader effect there to go out and bring out the Sabo, making our leader 7k, bring out the other 7k, and I totally understand why Cold Hands ended up doing so, because I could have gone 12-12 and then 15 with lead, or 13-13 and 13 with lead as well. So quite a different options there, but this 11k swing does go into life, which obviously connects, and now I'm debating on the trigger, and I trigger out the Brulee. Now the main reason why I ended up putting out the Brulee is because I know that it's an easy target for the Rocket Luffy, but I want to give him a couple different options on what to choose from, because he can only pop 1 character a turn. So this is a big 9k swing going into life here. It's an easy 1k counter, which I imagine he's going to go ahead and give me. Imagine we just see the 1 card out of hand, which I think he's debating the Viola. But giving me the Hiyori is what it looks like, and then I'm going to go ahead and play out the New Gates. We're going to look at our life, add a card from our top of our deck to our life there, and then we're gonna go ahead and rearrange it there. So just kind of rearranging it how I want it. We have the 5 cost Sunday at the very top of there, and the main reason why is because I want the extra card draw. No other reason. 1k counter out of the 5k swing. We're gonna see the Gecko Moria coming down, playing out the Kuzan to then go ahead and play out the Luffy. Now we knew he was going to get rid of a character, just which one is it going to be? The fact that it's a 7k body in the form of Newgate is quite relevant. I know 7k going into 9 is not a big deal, but you attach 2 more Dawn to 7 and we have a 9k swing. So I think 7k and above is still really relevant against BY, but we are going to go ahead and use leader effect. We're going to go ahead and put the Rocket Luffy as well as the Sabo at the very top of our life using leader effect to get the Rocket Luffy, pop the blocker, so having to make the decision there, and then playing out the Sabo to draw to trash 2, and back again. Insane hand. Too many cards in our hand. It looks like now we have about 5 or 6 cards in Cold Hands hand. So this is a 9k swing into life, and honestly 9k is a lot. I have to counter, I could counter this attack. I could not as well too. I have a couple different options. I mean, the fact that the Big Mom is a 12k body is insanely good for me. Guarantees that he can swing into them. And so yeah, I'm gonna actually get rid of this, get out of this attack, and this is an 11k going to life. We're gonna see the trigger. We're gonna minus just 1 Dawn here since we ramp 1, and then draw ourselves a card, and just kind of clarifying that with Cold Hands. So quite nice there. And like I said, 5k swing, irrelevant. Never gonna swing with Sunday in this matchup, but just the fact that I get the extra draw is really good. So 12k swing going into life. And this is kind of scary. I think he has to actually counter one of these, which he does end up doing, so giving me 2 2Ks. And with 10 active Dawn, I can split the Dawn here, but instead I'm gonna go ahead and play out the 9 Mom. And Cold Hands only has 4 cards in hand right now, so not too many. He's played 2 Gecko Morias using leader, the character effect. We're gonna pitch in 9 Mom, and I'm debating, do I want to put Sabo in the back of on the top of his life? Now the benefit of putting Sabo on the top of his life is that if he doesn't have a Gecko Moria, he has to rely on the fact of, does he even have a 2-cost Sabo? So I'm gonna go ahead and check his life. How many 2-cost Sabos are in his trash? How is it likely? Is it possible? How many Gecko Morias does he have? And if I give him a life and then he has a Gecko in hand, it's not looking good. If that's the case, it is just not looking good. I mean, 9k lead and extra life plus 2 blockers. It's like, oh man, yeah, that's not very good. So I have to make the decision. It's a bit of a gamble either way. I only have 3 cards in hand, and I think the safest play is just to leave it on the board. So not putting anything to his life. I wish he had like a Flampe or something on the board, but unfortunately never playing anything out. We had that Garp early on, but I think thanks to the Gecko he was able to kind of get it off board. So pretty good on his side there. So with 10 active Dawn, we are sitting at just a 5k leader once again. And the question is, does he have Gecko Moria? The issue is that he's been having is that we haven't been playing Rocket Luffy every turn, so we've been going down in hand size just a little bit, little by little, every single turn, right? So this is a pretty difficult position that Cold Hands is in right now. So and it honestly really can go either way. I only have 3 life. If you really wanted to, he can go for game here. The only difference is here is that you can't really see it, but my last life is flipped up, and I actually rearranged that thanks to the Edward Newgate, and that's a 3-cost Brulee. What's really nice here is that that card will 1000% activate, and he can't use any effect to get rid of it. Only reason why is because if he swings 9k here, I take it. He then has to play out the leader effect to then go up to the buff to then play out the Luffy. I just have to counter one of those attacks, right? So pretty good. We are gonna play the Gecko Moria. We did have it, so I'm honestly very, very happy I didn't go for it. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cycle so many cards. I mean, we end up pitching our 4th Gecko Moria, which is kind of crazy. We now have 3 Sabos on the board. Our leader is a 9k base leader, so this is a second 9k swing. We have the 11k still that has to go through, so at this point I think I can take it, go down 2-0. I can also counter out of this. I only have 3 cards though, so that is quite unfortunate. And I mean, let's see exactly what I want to do here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give him 3 cards. I have 1 card in my hand now, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this swing, and then we're gonna just pass the turn. 1 card in hand, 1 card in life, which is that Brulee. And I have 2 Big Moms, 2 10-cost Big Moms, the 9-cost Big Mom, and then my 7-cost. Now I think it's just all about the math, which you know your boy's the worst at. So 9k leader for Cold Hands. We have 3 blockers. I'm going to start things off here with an 11k swing. 11k has always been the magic number, 2k above whatever the target is. So if it's 9k, we just do 2k on top of that. So this requires 2 cards out of hand, or we get the block. I think what I want him to do is give me 2 cards. I think that's like the most beneficial thing to do for me. So if he gives me 2 cards, and at this point I'm kind of thinking, okay, if he gives me the 2 cards, what am I going to do? Am I going to swing with the Newgate? Am I going to swing another 11k with the Newgate? In doing so, it would require 4 Dawn, so I would only have an extra 9k swing. Yeah, I would have, it would be 11, it would be 9, 11, 12, 12. That's essentially what I could do. I could also split it up. I could also split up like 10, 10, 10, 10, 12, 12. That's another option that I have. So I might do that. Really all depends here what Cold Hands ends up giving me. So it looks like he ends up blocking the 11k swing. And I think at this point, I just go 12, 12, and then I can just throw the rest on Newgate. That's also a very big possibility here. So I might take a second to think about this because obviously this is most likely my last turn. I mean, at this point, I don't have any other options. So this is a 12k swing going into life. We see the block. We see another 12k swing going into life. And if he gives me a couple cards here, I am very happy. And if he blocks here, I am also very, very happy. He only has 3. Like I keep mentioning, we see a Makino in his hand. So don't know how many actual 2Ks he has in his hand. So let's see here. He actually ends up blocking with the Sabo, and we're going to attach 2 Dawn to our Newgate, and then we're going to do the math, and we're going to attach a 6 on top of that. So yeah, we do end up taking it here. Thank you guys so much for checking out this channel as well as this video. I really do appreciate it, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP09 content coming out soon. See ya.